Yo, what's going on, you guys? Drum Machine Addicts is back again with another highly requested tutorial, and today we are going to show you how to use some more of your sampling functions in your MPC software. Particularly, we're going to go over tuning and we're going to go over pitching. Now, if you look at the screen here, you'll see that we have a guitar loop loaded up from our MPC loop library. Let's see how that sounds now. I'm going to press the play continuous pad A16 so that our loop just keeps playing and playing so you can get a feel for it. Alright, now that you have a general feel for how our loop sounds, let me explain the difference between pitching and tuning in the simplest way that I can. If you pitch shift your sample, it's basically permanent. So unless you keep clicking the undo button, if you pitch a sample up to make it sound higher in tonal quality, it's going to stay that way. Whereas if I use the tune function to do it, I can always just tune down my sample really quick. Even if I've already rendered it and chopped it and everything and it's already playing in a sequence, if I use the tune function to tune it up, then it'll do it in real time, as opposed to if I use the pitch function, I can't mess with it anymore. To kind of show you the difference, let me go down to the tune button, which is by from BPM. Now, let's say I want to tune the sample up by 3 semitones. Alright, now you see how different that sounds, right? So then, if I want to, I can go ahead and just chop that up, and I can make it into whatever mode I want it, non-destructive, pad parameters, or whatever, and then I have a new sampling program that I can use to make a beat. But if I pitch it down, it'll do it in real time. So I pitch it down 5 semitones this time. All right, and the cool thing about from BPM is, let's say I don't know, or rather, if I'm tuning and I don't know the BPM, let's say I mess up my BPM and instead of it being at 75, I put it at 80. Or something like that. But I know that my guitar loop has 16 beats in that measure. Well, I can go to my tune function and I can go to click on from BPM. Now, it knows that I have 16 beats per measure because I set it there. All right, so I can set it at 16 beats per measure because I know that it has that much. And then I can go to the tune button and put it back to 0. And there you see that it put my tempo back to 75. So if I know how many beats that my sample has in it, but I don't necessarily know the BPM, I can just play around with the from BPM, and that'll calculate the BPM for you, as so. All right, now that we've messed around with our tuning, let's mess around with pitch shift, which is a little bit more permanent. All right. Now, let's say I want to pitch this sample up by 3 semitones. Now, notice this process is going to take a little bit longer than our tuning as well. All right, and if you go down to tuning, notice it's at 0. This is a more permanent change as opposed to tuning, because now I can't really tune this back down unless I go back to pitch shift and click undo. So I'll click undo now. And there you see it brought my sample back to normal. So that's just a general tutorial showing the difference between pitching and tuning. You can play around with it for yourself. Let me know if you have any questions. Once again, Drum Machine Addicts is back again with this tutorial. If you need anything, hit us on our Gmail. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week. Peace.